Welcome back to the channel, everybody. If you don't already know, I'm Fox, and it's time to fix it. Gotten a lot of little things done on the Jeep today, and by little things I mean a lot of big things, like me spray painting something, like a Jeep. It's not completely spray painted, but decisions have been made. Got the spare tire mounted. Look at that. It fits. Of course it fits. It's supposed to. I've got the front back together and the hood off, and the grille is painted white. It's not a final decision, but I did decide that it's much easier to paint black over top of white than white over top of black. So we're gonna assemble it all and then decide, do we like the white grille? And if we don't like the white grille, we'll just paint it black. Yep. And the hood's off, it's sitting over here. It's all in primer. Primer needs to cure a little bit more, then it needs to be sanded, and then it needs to be painted, then it needs to be put back on and whatnot and so forth. If you haven't noticed on the channel, I'm pretty lazy when it comes to actually finishing things. 80% is usually good enough. I'm thinking about just leaving these green because I don't want to take them off and paint them. Bought this SM420 transmission. Allegedly, that will bolt to the Jeep. And by allegedly, I mean I looked it up and it's going to bolt to it. It should be no issue. It'll need an adapter on the back because all SM420s were two-wheel drive. And this Jeep's not two-wheel drive. Plan today is I want to get some lights put back on this thing. It's not going to be a complicated video, but it needs to be done. So that's what we're going to do. We've obviously got the front marker lights and headlights put in. We've also got the tail lights put in. I don't have the side markers yet, so we're going to leave those alone because I don't have them. So I can't put them in because I don't have them. That's probably about it. So it should be a short video. It was just a quick catch up on what I've been doing and what I haven't been filming because it's spray paint and I'm not that great at it, but it looks good on video. All right. So far, I found the hardest part of this lighting job was tracking down where I put this cordless drill. I'm not known for my neatness, but at least I remembered where I put the lights, so that's a good thing, I guess. Both the front and marker lights are new because when I bought this, the marker lights that were in it were complete garbage. They were or would never gonna work again. So I already replaced it and did them. There's nothing like drilling right into a freshly painted grill to really make you uncomfortable about drilling things. There we go. And a little known fact about Jeep CJs, it's the exact same procedure on both sides. Yeah, I didn't know that either. The holes in the marker light are not exactly the same width apart as the ones in the grill. Sometimes they're a little wider, sometimes they're a little narrower. So you sort of have to walk this thing back in, one screw at a time, sort of back and forth, until you're all the way back in. Also, if I've never mentioned it, commenting and liking helps my channel a lot. Whether you type good or bad comments, I really don't care. That's irrelevant. Comments are comments. However, on the like side of it, unliking I don't think is good. Liking is good. So say whatever you want, but hit the thumbs up when you do it. Why does one look more faded than the other? They're the same part from the same company. I don't know, maybe it's lighting in the garage. Time for headlights. Some of the extra parts I did get with this Jeep was I got a whole extra set of headlight bezels, headlight trim rings. They weren't in the greatest shape. And when I came up with the accent stripe idea, I briefly considered making the headlight bezels a different color as well. Something like yellow. Then the paint fumes went away and I came to my senses and I decided that's probably way too Ronald McDonald. So we're not gonna do that. Anyone remember how this is supposed to go? Slip this on like this and rotate it just a little bit. Okay, that's one bulb. I'm pretty sure that just broke my torque bit. Ah, that's never coming out of there. Okay. Oh, that definitely is not doing much. The clip is broke off this. This is just getting better and better. This is so nice. I hope this one threads all the way in because the clip is broken. That's just as tight as the other one. Perfect. Well, now we can at least take a step back and look and see what we think of the white grille. It's not bad. It's pretty traditional. Yeah. And we're on to the tail lights. And the license plate side does have this clear lens on the bottom, or at least dirty clear lens. It'll be fine. And you got to make sure that that faces down and it is the one that you put with the license plate. Also, I'm just now remembering I broke all the screws for the tail lights, so I need to find some bigger ones. There we go. Something sort of like that. New bolts. Well, new used. Then we're gonna get that new lens on here because the old one was, well, the old one was in multiple pieces. There you go. There's another screw somewhere. It's fine. And again, on this passenger side, we're gonna have to go with bigger bolts because, well, the plastic fasteners that go on the inside of this, yeah, they're gone. They died on the way out. So just thread that back through. And since we already know that a very large self-tapping, well, not really self-tapping, very large machine screw will work for this purpose with enough force. Yep. Don't pinch the ground wire when you do this. You can't rely on those stupid Amazon batteries. So we've got to go back to hand tools. Who knew that a half-price, no-name 18-volt battery would not hold a charge as well as a factory battery? I thought it'd be fine. There we go. Yoink. Now this one, surprisingly, is the original lens, and it is in great shape. However, it's going to be very brittle, so if you're going to use a cordless drill to put it back in, don't go hammering on this thing at full bore, man. Just ease it back in, because as soon as you smack the trigger of this thing full go, that's going to shatter into 1,000 pieces. Outside of the green roll bar, that's looking a lot better. Oh yeah, fuel thingy. You may be wondering, where did I find a white gas cap? Well, Rust-Oleum had it in stock. I need to get this fuel neck to go with this collar like that. This is moving around and the fuel neck is moving around, so to get everything to go back together, you have to reach in through the fender well and push that filler neck out to meet that trim piece. Now it's not going anywhere. We can put the others in. Now we can put our Rust-Oleum gas cap back on. Now, of course, since we just used hex head and we used Phillips here, the screws that hold this trim piece on, of course, those have to be Torx bits. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. You know what they say, great minds complain alike. Check that thing out. Back of the Jeep, pretty much completed. I'm gonna paint this whole bumper black again, which means spare tire will come off and we'll tape some stuff off and just overspray a little bit. And one more thing for today. I am not gonna buy new hood hinges. These are perfectly fine. They're just an ugly green. I don't feel like wire wheeling them. So we're just gonna soak them in the carb cleaner. It makes a great paint stripper. And down we go. Door hinge thing too. Why not? We're just gonna leave that in there until I forget where I put the things and then remember that I put them in here. And that's just about the amount of time it's gonna take to get the paint off of that. Then set it off to the side where you can forget that you even own it. That's gonna do it for today. Got you caught up on what I've been doing that I haven't been filming because I'm not that good at what it was, so I just didn't film it. Plus, I don't have a lot of time sometimes, and it's just a matter of run out here, paint it while the weather's good, run back inside. That's how you gotta do it sometimes. So, either way, lights are back on. Figured out I probably need at least one headlight bezel because that one's mostly partly halfway broken, somewhat. Taillights are back on. Doesn't look too bad for something that runs, but it's not quite roadworthy. It's about 80%, and most of the time, that's good enough. See you next time.